Yes, everyone, hope you're well and welcome back to Combat Catch Up, joined by the two legends, Luke Tanner and Jamie Phillips. And we've got a good few things to talk about. Going to touch on UFC 307, not going to go too deep into it because we're going to be doing a preview on Luke's channel at some point this week. Then we're speaking about Money Moicano and who he could fight next. Adesanya's come out and said he wants to fight again, and Khabib has doubled down on the fact that he's retired and won't be returning. I still want to have a little question and answer session with the boys here about it. How are you guys doing this evening?
Not too bad.
Yeah, I was all right till I saw Ellie Brooks' fucking horrible face on my Twitter.
You're not a fan,
No, she looks like a geezer. She's the ugliest thing I've ever seen.
You're on war already.
Oh, Luke is a fan.
Jesus.
Oh, well, Brooke. Oh, she's hideous, man. Hideous. She looks like the honey. She looks like the honey monster.
Jamie's on war mode straight away.
Jesus Christ.
Even her rag is ugly.
Jamie, you're psycho.
Oh, you're a bad man, you know.
Right. UFC 307. Not going to do a deep dive into it because, as I said, we're going to be on Luke's channel. But I'm going to go through the main card of you guys, and I'm going to ask you a couple of questions off the back of it. So, opening up the card is going to be Roman Dolidze, who came off a win against Lionheart Smith, versus Kevin Holland at middleweight. So, Kevin Holland back at 185. Caitlin Vera up against Kayla Harrison, her second fight in the UFC. Jose Aldo Jr. versus Mario Bautista. And then in the co-main event, Raquel Pennington versus Juliana Pena for the Women's Bantamweight Championship. And then in the main event of the evening, Alex Poitin Pereira versus Khalil Roundtree Jr. for the light heavyweight strap. Boys, which fight are you most looking forward to the most? Jay, I'll start with you.
Main event.
Main event, yeah?
Yeah, don't give a shit about anything else.
Luke, what about yourself?
Main event, because I called this in my predictions. I did start of the year. I predicted this fight would happen. Obviously, not happy the way it's come about, but I did predict that this fight would happen this year. Khalil Roundtree versus Alex Pereira. Of the few rare predictions I've got correct this year, this is definitely the highlight.
So, I said that I wanted to see this fight, and I'm extremely excited for it. However, the fight that intrigued me the most on this card is actually Caitlin Vera versus Kayla Harrison. I genuinely want to see how Kayla gets on, because this for me is a number one contendership match. Whoever wins out of Raquel Pennington and Juliana Pena will fight the winner of this fight, in my opinion. If it's Kayla Harrison and she puts on another great performance, then she's going to be seen as the unstoppable force in this division. However, if she loses, it really does throw the cat amongst the pigeons in a division that, let's be honest, it's kind of lost its allure recently, especially since Nunes has gone. I think Pena can inject some life back into it, but if Kayla Harrison wins, then we're really cooking. I got a shout to Calvin in the comments. He says, "What's crack-a-lacking, lads? 1 month until the GOAT returns."
No, sorry, the GOAT retired a while ago, mate.
Just a little heads up, he might be joining us for that watch long as well, guys.
You pay?
That'd be great. That'd be great. I'm up for that.
Just saying, if Stipe beats John Jones and Calvin's on the screen,
I've got champers on ice. You better run.
I'm gonna leave you boys too, because that is gonna be epic.
Masvidal in the crowd as well. Side me up. Then I don't care if Stipe retires afterwards. You've done your job.
All right. Out of those fights, which fight do you think will be the fight of the night?
Pennington and Pena.
Say again?
That'd be the ultimate snooze fest.
Pennington and Pena's going to surprise everyone and be the fight of the night.
You think so?
Going to surprise everyone, yeah.
I'm going to go Jose Aldo versus Mario Bautista.
I'm actually going for the opening fight, Dolidze versus Holland. Holland's never in a boring fight.
It's because he's shit.
Hey,
Shit fighters are always in good fights because they don't know how to fight.
I think that would be a barn burner of a fight because Holland if he finds himself on the end of it, like losing 2 rounds, for example, he'll go out there and leave it all on the line in the third.
I actually think the fight of the night is going to be Stephen Thompson and Joaquin Buckley.
That's that's our prelim headliner. That's before we even go live.
That should have been on the main card, if I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, I don't need 2 female fights on the main event. What are we doing here?
But Kayla, I think Kayla should. I wouldn't have minded if she was a 6th fighter.
I don't want to see Gary Harrison versus Vieira.
You say Gary Harrison?
I don't want to see it, man.
I'm not gonna lie. I rate Kaylee, you know. I do rate Kayla.
I do because I need to see Amanda Nunes back in her division, man. Because trust me, without her, this division is finished. It is washed. I've got Juliana Pena interviews saying that she's going to drag Amanda Nunes out for a trilogy. She doesn't give a shit about you. She left because you're shit.
Yeah, if Juliana wins, Amanda's not coming back. If Kayla wins, I think Amanda does. And if Amanda comes back, then we're cooking.
Yeah, 100%. There's a feud. What?
I don't want to see the drug street back. Fuck her.
Whoa.
No, Amanda's not drug street.
Women can get away with it more. Women can get away with it more because their monthly cycle, they can absorb things differently and it don't show up in their bloodstream.
Yeah, that explains why Valentina's been so dominant.
Oh,
exactly. They're all juiced. All the women are juiced. Every single one of them.
Do you honestly think so, Joy?
Yeah, man. Yeah, of course she is. She's like a man. Come on.
To be honest, I think she
was. So does Cyborg to me. Cyborg's probably not the best example to use because she got caught
exactly. I'm just here for facts, man. I'm not hiding stuff.
So
I don't want to see her, man.
All right, performance tonight. Who do you expect to have the performance tonight?
Luke's dead. Luke's dead already. I think we'll have the performance tonight of our commentary.
As we always do.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah. Can we get a bonus? Is that possible at all?
Oh, that would be nice.
Who the hell is UFO ends?
That can't be actual ends. That can't be ends.
No, it's not. It's not ends. No,
it's not ends.
It's not ends because you can tell how badly the photo is that it's just been.
Yeah. Plus, he uses his logo for his avatar, doesn't he?
We got to now guess who UFO ends is.
You're waiting to see if they reveal themselves.
I'm going to go performance of the night, Jose Aldo, because he's been horrendously disrespected. Been horrendously.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on. Why Jose's having to fight these young killers? Why he can't just be putting a couple of legends?
Because I think he wants to fight out his contract and then basically go to boxing. Basically,
yeah, he's still being disrespected though. I mean, him and Dominic Cruz is right there.
Him versus Figueiredo is literally right there, but Figueiredo's been booked against Piotr Jan now. So.
No, I like the Piotr Jan and Figueiredo fight. If I'm going to be honest.
No, he says new channel man, them UFO content.
I mean, I don't even know whether to believe this. Send me a WhatsApp if you're telling the truth, Ends. Now we'll catch you out now. Send me a WhatsApp.
This is very easy to find out. Just go on YouTube.
Yeah. Let me know.
James,
so, on a scale of 1 to 10, how good do you think this event's going to be? Or this main card, I say.
I don't think it's going to do great. Don't think it's going to do great.
You don't think it'll be good?
Yeah, for it. No, UFC's dead.
Nah, this is a good card, boys.
I'd say it's an okay card. I think it's an okay card because Callum, I don't think that you were there when Pennington fought Bueno Silva because it was me and Jamie. That fight was.
I was there, unfortunately. It was.
What were you? Because it was fucking terrible.
It was that was what wasn't that 299 or it wasn't that 299? I think
No, there's one before that because 299 was good.
I was here for that though. The only one I've missed was 301, I think.
Yeah, but yeah, that fight, last fight Paddington was in was shit. Delete Say's fight against Anthony Smith, who is a bum.
That wasn't great either. Yeah, I get you.
Was shit.
Yeah.
Aulo's always in great fights.
Yeah. He fought his last fight was in Brazil, right? And he put on a hell of a performance against
Caitlin Vieira. I swear she's a drugs cheat.
I'm not
understanding. No, actually, sorry. Apologies. It was Silva that was the cheat. It was Biona Silva. That was a bit of a cheat. But to be honest, like when you look at Embedded, you can sort of tell how the pay-per-views are going to go based on the number of views. Less than 350,000 views. That pay-per-view is not going to do very well. And even with it being Pereira on the card, Pereira, Roundtree, people aren't happy with the main event because of how Roundtree's got the belt. Because he's got found out.
Is that not because they've not promoted it very well though?
Well, but the thing is, the main event. When's the last time that they promoted something well?
The Sphere.
The Sphere.
Nah, not
but
really.
They promoted this. They promoted the Sphere, not the card.
Yeah.
They promoted the Sphere itself, but every time I heard anything about the Sphere, it was Dana bitching and moaning, saying it cost about over 20 million. And then we wanted to be positive, say, "Oh my god, Oscar-worthy, cinematic, that bullshit, like a movie."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, cool. I bet it looked fantastic in person, on TV."
Some people weren't happy. I've heard some discourse from the Sphere, though. I've heard some discourse saying people didn't like the way it was seated for watching fights.
Yeah, it's quite steep, isn't it? From the looks of it.
They did like the way it was seated.
And the only thing that they promoted well is the ultimate drugs cheat, John Jones. So the only thing that they're remotely promoting well, and that's him.
Very true.
Yeah. I'll tell you what's been promoted more in this that I've seen on my internet feeds, or my social media feeds, and on TNT and all that is Slap. I've seen that promoted more.
Oh no!
This week already. We're on Tuesday, and I've seen that promoted more this week already compared to their big UFC show.
Yeah, Slap really winds me up. Like really winds me up.
78% of the competitors suffer brain damage off it.
Well, of course they do.
Well, you got to have brain damage to do it.
Yeah, it's gonna say other part of the criteria.
I was gonna say something else, but I don't think it's good to get to one personally.
I love watching the women do it, man. It's hilarious.
Yeah, because you've got those soul.
I'm sadistic. I ain't gonna lie, I'm sadistic. When they're just having
it, like, you figured out a little while ago, bro.
There was just slapping the shit. I just love the fact they use a float woggle behind their back.
Yeah,
they don't move. Yeah, you can't move. You're not allowed to move. You can't flinch. If you flinch, you get a free slap. They should have lived in the UK in the 80s. Slap league was everywhere. If you did anything wrong, you go home, slap.
Yeah. For real. Even into the 90s, Joe. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Even into the 90s, it was still about.
Yes, slapped about, man.
I can't lie, boys. I'm actually looking forward to 307. I think it's going to be a really good card. I do.
Yeah, it's got the potential, babe.
It definitely screams at being one of those ones where we've gone, this card looks a bit meaty. And then we come out of the event saying, fuck me, this card looks...
It was good.
Quality.
Yeah, so I hope so.
Yeah, I'm going to say one thing right now. There won't be a single finish.
Nah, Pereira's not going to Roundtree. Pereira's not going to Roundtree because I've heard him say, I'm not going to grapple him. I'm just going to stand and bang. I'm thinking, you're getting knocked out then.
I'm going to be real with you. I don't think I agree, Luke.
I think that's the most boring fight. I think that's the most boring fight of the show. The main event.
I think I said from the beginning, Roundtree for me is the most dangerous opponent for Pereira. And I say that for a reason. I genuinely do. Now, granted, I could come out of this and look like an absolute idiot.
Yeah, like he's definitely got a chance. Because I'm not saying that he's got a puncher's chance. He's got a very good chance because he is super dangerous. He is sadistic because I watched a fight where he blew out Bukowski's knee.
Exactly.
Like a sadistic motherfucker.
However, he's got a secret move. He's got a secret move.
That's what he's saying.
A secret move. However, if he takes the same mentality as every other fighter that's fought Pereira, apart from Blachowicz, went, yeah, I'm not going to grapple. I'm just going to stand and bang with him. Then people are still underestimating how good Pereira is on the feet. And if they think that
he's never shot,
if they think that not going to grapple him is going to work, then
I think the problem with this fight is that I think Pereira's got the highest IQ in that division. Fighting IQ in that division. I just don't know if Pereira is going to be there to be hit.
All right. Hear me out.
His body kicks is a body kick because the way that I don't want to go too much into it, but the way he sort of like stands, he's very susceptible for getting those side kicks, which is Roundtree is lethal at, by the way. He's landing the body kicks. That's where Pereira's got to watch out for. But
hear my theory on this. Pereira's resume is fantastic.
Yeah.
At light heavyweight, I personally think he lost to Jan Blachowicz, but it was a close fight, so it's not a robbery either way. In his fights against Yuri, I love Yuri. He was one of my favorite fighters on the whole roster.
He was brain dead.
He's wide open to be hit. Yuri gets hit by everyone. Rakitic was lighting him up. Pereira's lit him up. Dominic Reyes hit him quite a few times. Like Glover was hitting him a lot. Like not prime Glover either. Like Glover who started relying on his wrestling and jiu-jitsu. Yuri's there to be hit, and if you're there to be hit by Alex Pereira, then you know what's going to happen next. You're going night. Jamal Hill, again, I think a very good fighter, but he's there to be hit as well. He leaves himself wide open, and I don't think. Look, Jamal Hill and Yuri both hit hard. They're big men in it. I just don't know if they have the quickness like Khalil Roundtree as well as the power. Plus, I think Khalil Roundtree is very, very smart in the way he approaches his striking, and he might even be even more violent than Alex as well. Like he's way more violent than Alex. When he gets you hurt, he goes after you like you owe him money. It's actually scary. Like he's like doing soccer kicks to the body while you're on the floor and all that. Alex don't like. He beats you up like this is a street fight. And
he wants to make it more technical. Roundtree wants to take it to the streets.
Roundtree always takes it to the street. Yeah, like when he knocked out Smith and he just standing over him with the highest hammer fist hand we've ever seen. Like he's not right. When he gets in that cage, he's a different human being. So what a comment. You saying I'm trying to sell us the fight? Is that what you're sign me up? I'll do a better job of promoting than the other guy.
Sign me up, son.
I genuinely believe people are sleeping on Khalil Roundtree. Again, I'm not going to sit and be surprised if Pereira wins. That's just not my prediction. But we'll dive deeper into that on your channel, Luke. So we will see.
If I have to fight you, I'll fight you too. Trust me. 2-on-1, 2-on-1, 3-on-1, 5-on-1. But I'll make sure that they need 9-on-1.
The legendary.
Charles Sonnen for that one.
Right, let's move on. Israel Adesanya has come out in an interview saying he wants to fight again before the end of the year and that he's far from retired and still believes he has a chance of going on a run. They shake his head. So here's where I stand on this. I'm a massive Izzy fan, but I think he's almost been too active for his own good. And when you're too active, you almost show the rest of the competition what you've got and how you fight to the point where they can just study you and have non-stop footage of studying you. I don't know if Izzy can make another run for the title. And that's because people now know that they can mix up the wrestling with the striking, which kind of nullifies his striking, which is his biggest asset. But Luke, I'm going to ask you, he's currently ranked number 2 in the division. So Dracus is obviously champion, just lost to him. Sean Strickland's number 1, but he's got he's next in line for the championship fight. and he's beaten Adesanya as well. Number 3 is Whitaker, who has a fight with Hamzat, but Adesanya's beaten him twice. Then you got Imavov, who won at the weekend, Bahalio. Then you've got Vettori, who Izzy's beat twice, Cannonier, who Izzy's beat, and then you've got Brendan Allen, Costa, who he's beat, and then Delidze. Who do you think should be Izzy's next opponent and why?
It should be Kyle.
Bahalio.
Yeah. Thank you for. Yeah, because I was not going to say that properly. Yeah, I think it should be him because I think he's called him out. Izzy's also mentioned the name as well. I know Imanov called him out, but I don't think he'll get that fight. But I just think it makes sense because if Izzy wants to have this another run at the belt, which you can try, but I think with regards to he's in two minds. He's tried to sit out for a year, rest up, hop straight back in for a title fight, and yeah, he looked good, but it wasn't good enough. And he took that time off. Maybe he needs that, like, I can fight every 4 months type of thing, which he doesn't really need to do anymore. And he's got nothing to prove anymore. Like, I do agree with Calvin. He is done, as in done for the title. Like, if he just carries on, he could beat the odd person coming up. He could beat Imanov. He could beat Ibrahimo. But his takedown defense is nothing like it was when it was prime Izzy. He's very easy to take down now.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say Dricus is the slickest, submission specialist guy in the world. But you saw how easy Izzy gave up the submission position against Dricus. Like Brahalio, I could see him submitting him. I could see anyone that's got who's a good grappler, good finisher, good with the chokes, could choke him out easy because I just don't think he's got it anymore. And I just mate retire. He's got nothing to prove. Like, what's he gonna do? He's for me, he's gonna do the Anderson Silva. He's gonna keep fighting, keep losing. And then rather than stop now, because I think if he stopped now, I think people would have a fond memory of what Izzy was like. Remember when we were like, Anderson, why don't you stop? Because people are going to have that sour taste in their mouth about, hey, look, Prime Anderson was a different level, but you have to look about what happened at the end. And he's running that risk of hopping back in against top guys. Is he just going to dampen his legacy as much as people may or may not like him? But he doesn't need it anymore, and I do think he's done for the title. Like, there's no point, there's no fantasy scenario where he's going to click his fingers and he's still going to be the guy he was 4 years ago. I think that's done. He's done.
Jay, when I mentioned Izzy's name, you sighed and shook your head. What's your thoughts on Israel Adesanya?
Well, we're seeing what happens to Izzy when the steroids are worn off.
Jesus Christ, you're too violent today.
He's now slow and predictable. I think if Michael Pereira comes out of his fight unscathed, that's his next opponent.
What, Michelle
Pereira, yeah. If he comes if he comes through, because I think that's a fun fight for Izzy to have. I think that's a good fight, and I think Pereira, he's an exciting fighter, he's a good fighter. Dana wants exciting fights on the card. He brings the entertainment value, and you're going to have to start giving him big fights. And I think I look at down the rankings. I don't really want to see him fight anyone else in the rankings right now in that top 10.
Yeah, the rankings are pretty dead.
It's been there and done it all. So he's got to fight someone a bit fresh and a bit new. So I think if Michel Pereira, I don't want to see Imanov. People like Imanov and all that. They're just boring as shit. Give me Michel Pereira, man. Versus Izzy, I think would be an exciting, entertaining fight, man.
Do you think Izzy being number 2 though would fight someone who's ranked number 14?
Well, the thing is, though, who else is he going to fight? Because at this moment in time, he ain't going to fight. He ain't going to fight Sean Strickland. He ain't going to fight Whitaker. The only other fight is him.
I think he wants to fight him again. I think if
Sean Strickland ain't he's got a title shot next. So the thing is, the problem with Izzy now is he actually can't afford to be that long off. He has to
lose his next one either.
Because of he's lost and he's looking, and everyone in now thinks he's on the downturn. He can't actually afford to take time off because he's getting older. He actually has to fight. He has to actually be active. So he can't actually wait around. And this is why I think someone with like a Michel Pereira, if he can win his fight, I just think that's a really entertaining fight to make.
And I do think him being in a 3-rounder will probably help him again because he's been in 5-rounders for several years now. So maybe a nice 3-rounder may be the correct thing to do. And for me, I think he does fight at the end of the year because the way UFC 310's looking like, who's going to main event, he's going to need as much star power as it can get his hands on. And I know Jamie thinks he's a finished, washed, he's a bum, but he is still one of UFC's biggest stars. And
that's what I said.
At the end of the year, you're going to need all of them together because if Bilal's headlining that card at MSG, this is like your last show of your 30th year anniversary, and you've got Belal freaking Muhammad headlining your card. You need all the freaking stars you can get.
So at the moment on 310, you've got Evloev versus Sterling. You've got Cyril Gane versus Volkov, 2 fights that should have happened earlier, but were cancelled due to injuries. And then you got Smith versus Reyes.
Oh my God, that is dead.
That's not dead.
Oh, what are we doing here?
That's not dead.
Oh my God.
It's not a dead card. It's right now. It's not the most exciting card though. If I'm going to be honest,
it's an okay start. Decision.
Evloev versus Sterling's got decision written all over it. Cyril Gane versus Volkov has decision written all over it as well. Reyes,
they won't bang. They won't. Yes, we know Volkov is a very boring heavyweight, and Cyril Gane.
Hold on. Smith Reyes is on the John Jones card.
310. No, it's on 310. No, it's on 310.
I've just had a look. It's on 309.
No, bro, have another look. It's on 310.
What the hell? It's on there twice. Someone needs to delete that then.
It's on 3. I've got it 310. 7th of December.
Hey, Bo Nickel stirs on that. Is just before Michael Chandler, Charles Oliveira. You know, Bo freaking Nickel.
That doesn't surprise me though.
6-0, Bo Nickel.
That's not an easy fight for Bo, by the way, because Paul Craig.
Paul Craig is going to submit him. Is gonna be hilarious.
If that happens, that would be crazy because Paul Craig, he's got wins over like Ankalaev and all these people, but then we've got losses over like Johnny Walker. He's got the weirdest resume of win losses. It's crazy.
Wow. Do you know the best card of the year? Do you know the best card to end this year at is actually UFC 308?
Yeah, Ilya Max, isn't it?
On a decent time
Whitaker, as well. Whitaker, Hamzat, you got Ankalaev and Rakic, and you got Magomedov as well. That is a card.
Yeah.
Plus is all that. It all starts at
even 7. Lerone Murphy versus Ige. Sorry to cut you, Lid. That's a hell of a fight.
Yeah. Wow, you got some fight. Jeff Neal and RDA.
Oh. Who fancies a watch long from 5 p.m.?
I think Liverpool aren't playing that day. Yeah, let's do it.
No, it's the Arsenal game, isn't it?
Day after.
I think it's the day after. Yeah, I think it's the Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm up for that.
Saturday, do you know how busy Saturday's going to be for me, man?
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
What?
I've got the Liverpool game, then I've got Bad Blood at 11 p.m. and then that finishes and then UFC
Wait, Liverpool playing Sunday, Jamie?
No, they're playing Saturday this week.
12:30 kickoff.
This Saturday they're playing Crystal Palace.
This Saturday.
Yeah, this Saturday. No, 308 they're playing Sunday.
This Saturday, 12:30 kickoff, and I got WWE Bad Blood. That starts at 11 p.m. because they're starting earlier because UFC's on the same night because they own the same company. So WWE. So it's basically TKO have got the whole Saturday night. Yeah. So your Bad Blood finishes, UFC starts.
Yeah, and guess what's next? Guess what's next week as well? Bivol, Baturviev, Wardley, Clark 2.
Yeah.
As well. Eubank Jr., who I want. Who's a scumbag.
Give Eubank Jr. a knighthood, man. He spoke facts.
He did. You just got to get sued for it now. That's the problem, isn't it?
How soft is Frank Warren?
Very.
How soft is Frank? I thought Frank Warren had a spine.
He's a pussy because Turkey's giving them all the cash. He's giving them all the mullah. That's why these fights are happening, because he's giving them a bucket full of cash to put these super fights on.
Turkey saved boxing. He really has saved boxing. Yeah. We wouldn't have seen half these fights.
Hey, we're potentially seeing Canelo Crawford next year because of him.
I'm here for it.
Well, that's a bad move for Crawford, man.
It's either a bad move or it's
or a perfect move.
Yeah, something that basically cements him as one of the best of all time, if not the best of all time.
Like Floyd?
Floyd? Nowhere near the best of all time. He gets absolutely eaten up by Canelo.
If he beats Canelo, there's a real conversation.
Nah, Crawford ain't got that much of a career.
And you would deserve it as well. You would deserve it.
I'll be here for it. But yeah, looking forward to 307. Adesanya. So you don't think so? If he loses his next fight, let's say whoever it's against, do you think he retires after that, or do you think he keeps on going until he wins one?
Keeps on going.
I don't think he knows what he ain't got anything else to do, has he? So might as well keep fighting. I mean, he's highly ranked, so he's got to keep fighting.
Is his YouTube doing well? Has he got a podcast at all?
He has. He's got a YouTube channel. He hasn't got a podcast. His brother does interviews on there on his channel. So he just
he's just got to be a gatekeeper.
Yeah, you stay around long enough, you'll just become a gatekeeper. Yeah, before we switch subjects,
I don't think he will. I don't think he'll stay around to make that happen, though.
Oh yeah, just before we change subjects, Kamaru Usman predicted Kilo Roundtree to knock out Pereira, by the way.
Yeah, but Usman's a knob.
I'm all right with the prediction, Luke. I'm not gonna lie, bro.
I'm gonna say it now. It's gonna be the most comfortable fight of Pereira's career.
Callum, I've not fallen out with you. Let's not make that.
No, I hear. But here's the thing. What Jay just said could be absolutely spot on. Yeah. There's just something about Roundtree that makes me think there's something there that I don't think Roundtree is the best in the division, but I just think he matches up so well with Pereira.
He's going to be over aggressive and he's not elusive enough, and he's going to get caught.
He's going to get boom. Get caught. Yeah,
the way for Roundtree to win is to take his time, pick his moments, because he's so powerful. If he can take his time, pick his moments, he can hurt Pereira. But if he goes too aggressive, then that's when I think he gets picked off. Because there's no better fighter in the game picking someone off if you're over aggressive. We know that, so that'd be the thing. But if Roundtree can take his time, work his way into the fight, hurt Pereira in occasions, and build in, then he'll win the fight for me. But if he goes too aggressive, he's fighting the best fighter in the world. He wants people to be aggressive.
He's just going to catch him with a beautiful left hook, and that's all she wrote.
I hear what you're saying.
Have you seen the little Roundtree knockouts? Like be knocked out?
I think Johnny Walker's the only one he's been knocked out against, right?
I can just see Pereira landing it.
It was left. The knockout against Johnny Walker was bad, but that was years ago. He's massively improved since then.
Pereira's dangerous. I don't know, but just
there's something about Roundtree, guys, man.
He's so aggressive, and I just feel like aggressive workers.
Pereira kind of is as well.
Yeah, but he likes aggressive fighters. That's what Pereira likes, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think Pereira really cares whether you're aggressive or not. He just wants to.
I'm telling you, I guarantee you that Pereira's bigger than Roundtree in the fight somehow.
Yeah, well, Pereira probably grew himself to 7 foot tall for the fight. And...
while he's coming out, I will never forget it. His arm grew on the walkout.
Bro,
we watched.
One of his arms was big. One of his arms is longer than the other, and that was the one I think he connected with Yuri.
It was like that.
It was like that.
Yeah. Just to let you know, that Conor McGregor was at the Emirates tonight as well.
Well, for the Arsenal
at the Emirates for Arsenal PSG. Yeah, who's on the pitch and just looking now.
He was on the pitch.
Yeah, like after the game or before the game.
I love Conor, man. His life is he's just
he is loving life, by the way.
No, I think Conor needs saving for himself. I think he's got too many yes people around him.
He's enjoying himself, man. Yeah, it's got a lot of yes, but obviously, yeah.
Too many yes people. Right, let's move on to another fighter. Money Moicano picked up a devastating win over Benoit Saint-Denis on Saturday at UFC Paris.
Brutal. Did you see his shoulder?
Yes.
Moicano's shoulder, by the way. Fuck yeah. Hell. How the fuck did he fought with that?
Adrenaline got him through
no, I did. Well, sorry, I haven't seen this. What happened?
Did you see like he's lifting his shoulders out. He's fought with a full shoulder, basically.
Yeah.
Did it happen in the fight?
No. Yeah. No, it happened before the fight.
It happened before the fight.
Yeah, like he's got a
weeks before the fight.
Bloody weeks before the fight. Like his shoulders partly to 2 weeks prior. His shoulders like that. Still fought.
Big up the
because Moicano wants money.
If I'm Benoit, if I'm Benoit, then I want to know what painkillers he was taking. If that helped him.
Can we play the clip about what Moicano said afterwards?
Which one? The one about Dan Hooker?
Yeah, please, because that shit is hilarious.
That's on ESPN. We'll get copyrighted. I was going to, but we get copyrighted.
I'm not getting copyrighted again.
He basically said, "How is Dan Hooker that high in the rankings? It's almost like seeing a turtle in the tree. You'd look up and you'd be like, why is there a turtle in the tree? Someone's obviously put it there." He's brilliant. Moicano is absolutely brilliant.
Trash of Macron as well.
Let me see if I can
find for it as well.
Give me one sec.
Absolutely hilarious.
The image is rough.
Since Moicano lost to Rafael dos Anjos 2022, he's beaten Brad Riddell by submission, unanimous decision over Drew Dober, knocked out Jalen Turner, and beat Benoit Saint-Denis. And Jalen Turner nearly finished Moicano as well.
That's the picture, Jay.
Yeah. Shit, that's his collarbone.
I don't know. It's his shoulder, apparently, but something ain't right.
Yeah.
That's not out, though.
Something's not where it's meant to be.
No, because when your shoulder slips, your arm would slip down, and his arm would slip down. His arm's not hanging. So that's something else.
Definitely not dislocation. If it was a dislocation, he wouldn't be able to fight, but
that's something else. Because if your shoulder comes out of place, your arm slips like that because it's not held up any longer. That looks like it's collarbone more. Or it's clavicle. It looks like it's clavicle.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at Moicano's record, right? He's only lost to Ortega in 2017 by submission.
He was winning that fight as well until he got caught with a guillotine.
Lost to Aldo by KO punches in the second round.
Yeah.
Lost to the Zombie within a minute.
Featherweight.
And lost to Fiziev by KO. Yeah. So he is very hittable, as you can see.
Fiziev
was by Dos Anjos.
And that was what 5 days.
Eating steak and burgers.
Eating steak and burgers on 5 days.
He's just been on a 4-fight win streak.
He's turned the corner in his career.
It's gotta be Moicano and Pimblett. It's just obvious.
But it should be Moicano versus Hooker.
I was gonna say, which would you guys prefer to see? Would it be Hooker versus Moicano or Pimblett versus Moicano?
Pimblett Moicano. I think that's
Moicano versus Hooker. Because Moicano Hooker. Because if Moicano wants Daito Shed brother, No, yeah, that's not his accent. I can't get his accent, but
that is Dagestani accent.
yeah, brother. Yeah. If he wants Islam Makhachev, brother, yes, then he needs to fight Dan Hooker to get into that top 5. Where somehow Dan Hooker's in the top 5 conversation, but as he's after clicks and social media, then go and fight Paddy Filmer. But if he's focused on
Paddy's
title,
where the money is. Paddy's where the money
fight Dan Hooker. But hey, he said Dan Hooker easy money.
But I was going to say,
with easy money.
Which out of the two do you think is a better stylistic matchup for him?
Paddy. I think he beats Paddy.
I think Paddy.
I think he's jiu-jitsu.
I think Paddy.
I think Hooker's a better. I think I don't know if Paddy kills him. I think Paddy's a worse matchup for him than Hooker is, though. Paddy's got excellent jiu-jitsu. Moicano's not a great striker. Neither is Paddy, but both of them have got great jiu-jitsu.
Do you know what Moicano's passport is? Brazilian. If you're not a black belt, then you're out the country, my friend. That is a national requirement. If you're a fighter and you're from Brazil, you need a black belt Brazilian jiu-jitsu. It is standard across the board.
No, I hear that. You're right. But Pimlet's jiu-jitsu, people can't sleep on it anymore. His jiu-jitsu is excellent.
Yes, his jiu-jitsu is elite.
It's elite, yeah.
But
I think
Hook is a bad matchup. I think Hook chins him.
I don't.
Yeah, I think
he takes him down and keeps him down.
Yeah.
But Hooker's wrestling did improve against Gamrot, though. Like, I do agree with ARK.
Gamrot hasn't got any jiu-jitsu, though.
Yeah, so it's easier if you go down with him. Yeah.
Whoa.
I think
Pause.
Yeah, I think Pimblett's the better fight. Not the better fight, but I think if you're looking for attention and eyes on it, Pimblett Moicano, that'd have a lot of eyes and attention on that fight.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And the war of words between the two of them would be hilarious.
Oh yeah. Hey, London, bring it back to London. The UK.
Well, yeah,
it'd be a fight.
I don't think Moicano fights at the end of the year, at least until next year. Sorry, because he can't, not if his shoulder like that or his clavicle, whatever it is. And yeah, if usually UFC come over to London in March, don't they?
Yeah, he says they're coming twice. Apparently, they're coming over twice a year now. He said, didn't he? So it'd be springish time. So yeah, if they do March main event fight night,
must not
Moicano, Pimblett, and
yeah, fair dues. I look forward to that. And then finally, boys, Khabib comes out and says he's definitely not going to return. He's staying retired because he wants to help his family win championships.
I mean, cheat.
Good.
Sorry, I mean, cheat. Who's drugs cheat?
Yeah, he did get popped. He did, to be fair.
And cheat. No, but all jokes aside, yes, he's making the right decision.
Do you think he is? Because with the way Bilal talks about him, Bilal says, look, he's in the grappling rooms and in the training rooms with him, and he says that Khabib ragdolls Bilal while he's ordering coffee. And he's doing that to the 70-pound
Khabib's going to do that until he's 100 years old, probably.
Yeah, I just don't think...
Is it a mistake him not continuing to fight?
No,
or does it keep his legacy intact even more? Especially with stories like this, does it make his mythology go through the roof even more?
Yeah, it makes his mythology go through the roof. For me, he bottled it.
Oh,
he saw the talent cut. He saw the talent coming through, and he didn't want no part of it.
Sorry, I'm just reading this comment here. Luke really hates
ARK, chill.
ARK. What? I was going to give him his prop.
It's the other way.
Did pop?
It's the other way.
Am I lying? Did he pop, or did he not pop a Bellator? I'd actually be very complimentary to Khabib. Actually, it's going to be very complimentary. Yeah, I just don't think. I think he's fulfilled. I just don't think. Yeah, I think I agree with Jamie. He will probably always train, and he will probably always ragdoll anyone that comes into the gym. But I think him competing. I think the second his father passed, and he made the promise that he'd never compete. I think that he was completely content with the decision.
Bullshit statement.
Okay, keep the same energy for this guy down there, yeah.
I
No, but I
think
do think that if like the rest of his family weren't champions and they were getting beat, then I reckon that could pull him out. But look,
He didn't want to fight.
doesn't need
He didn't
it.
want to fight Islam. That's all right. He didn't want to fight Islam. Doesn't want to fight his fellow countrymen, and they're dominating. So, yeah, that's why he went out.
Oh right, I think Luke Thomas said that it wasn't a PD though, just a banned substance, which why the ban was short. But
yeah, Luke Thomas is on everything as well, so don't worry about that. Fucking.
Jamie, stop it. No, I just think he's content. Look, he's got a family full of champions, potential champions. You've got Usman, that's Bellator champion. Islam's the lightweight champion. Besides, like, let's say he did want to come back, which division is he going to fit in?
70.
Like which division would he dominate in?
70.
70, maybe.
I don't think
he was always going to go up. He was always going to go up. If he stayed around, he'd have to move up in weight. And
here's the thing, though. I don't think he would have gone up as with Usman as the champion. I think Usman would have been his kryptonite. Usman was bigger, stronger, could wrestle, and he could strike better than Khabib.
And that's the thing with Khabib, man. You know, that's the thing with Khabib. He just.
Okay,
he bottled his career.
He's trolling you. He's trolling you at this point.
You are hella.
He had 3 or 4 good fights on his resume, and then bottled it. Simple as that. You know, people don't like to hear the truth. It's a fact. He bottled it. He's still in a great age. He used his dad's thing as an excuse, and he bottled it. Simple as that.
I think Khabib's legacy is overrated. I still think he's one of the greats, but I do think it's overrated. When you look at his resume is not elite. But
yeah, I know ARK. I get very, as you can see, I get very easily triggered because I'm dyslexic. I just don't understand sarcasm when it's typed. I just don't. Sorry, because I know that you're always in my chat as well. So I know it's all love, but sometimes I just can't like understand if you're trolling or if not you're actually being serious. So apologies.
No, he's trolling. Do you think Islam Makhachev could surpass Khabib's legacy?
He already has.
I think he already has.
What makes you say he already has? Because the first thing people say is, "Oh, well, Islam lost though. He's lost. He's got a loss on his record."
Yeah, because he fights differently. So Islam fights with more risk. Islam
plus
for me fights with more risk.
He's a better all-round striker than
Khabib's Arsenal. Doesn't fight with risk. You know, Islam fights with more risk. That's why he's in more exciting fights. For me,
Khabib doesn't need to fight with risk. Should you fight with risk if you don't need to?
No, the most boring person I've ever met. Can't stand the guy. Glad he fucked off.
No, I don't think Khabib was boring. He grappled a lot, but very aggressive. He was grappling. I'd say I can understand when people say Bilal is boring potentially, and even Marab. I like watching Marab fight, to be honest, but I can understand why people say it's boring. Khabib literally was so aggressive in there; it was unreal.
Yeah, and ARK's right. Literally sprinted towards Gaethje for round, and he took some blows.
He did. Yeah, he only sprinted him to take him down. You know, that's all it is. That's all it is. Yeah, I think Islam's a better fighter, and if they fought, Islam beats Khabib. I'm telling you, Khabib bottled it. He never moved up in weight. He went undefeated in his division, cleared it out, and instead of moving up in weight where all the killers are, where he would struggle, he decided to quit. And that is always going to be
exciting. I'm not too sure whether or not he made grappling exciting. He made it.
I think people like BJ Penn made grappling exciting.
Yeah, BJ Penn made grappling exciting. He made grappling boring.
A9 facts Khabib on belts. Arsenal haven't. So agreed.
Yeah, shots fired. Shots fired. Oh, danger.
I think if you want to be the greatest, you've got to fight in 2 divisions.
Yeah,
unless you're a heavyweight when you ain't got a chance.
Yeah, I think because you've seen Conor do it, Cejudo, Amanda Nunes, there's so many people who have done it now.
Volk. Islam will do it. There's no doubt about it. He will.
Yeah,
you know, he will go up.
Max Holloway.
All that talk with him saying, "I'm not gonna fight Bilal," because Bilal's like, "Oh yeah, they're never gonna then we're never gonna fight each other." Yeah, they're looking at him when they train, thinking this guy's the imposter. The second we get the opportunity, we are taking that belt off him.
I don't think they will, but I think if Bilal loses,
Bilal steps out of line.
But Bilal's not going to step out of line with those guys. He knows he won't.
He got a title shot.
He can't. But I think if he loses his next fight, I tell you what. Let's say he loses to Shavkat. Shavkat versus Islam would be crazy. That would actually be crazy.
No, and then Islam wins the belt from Shavkat. Ian Gary versus Islam. Diet version of Khabib.
I've got a real random one here. If Conor McGregor never fought Mayweather and became rich and took 2 years out and stayed active, he would have beat Khabib.
I actually agree with that.
Would have been tighter, yeah.
He gave Khabib his. If you think about it, he gave Khabib his hardest fight.
Conor versus Bilal. Book it 2025. Book it. Conor versus Bilal.
I'll be honest with you. I don't know if I want to see Conor back in now.
No, neither do I. I just want Conor out of it. I want to see. I really, really wanted to see Khabib at 170. I just wanted to see him against people like Leon Edwards and Usman and, you know, Shavkat and Colby Covington. You know, people might laugh about that, but I think that would be an interesting fight. Yeah, you know, at that weight. And if it. And I think that's just go to, and I know he says about his dad because his dad passed away and all that, but I don't know, because if it was that serious, he wouldn't even train anymore and he wouldn't coach fighters to fight still. So I don't know. I think that's a bit of an excuse. I think he uses it as an excuse, personally.
It's different training though, because you're not traveling away from family, and he trains where he wants to train. He doesn't have to go to different gyms. And
but don't he travel with the fighters when they go for their fights?
Not always. He only goes when it's like Umar, Islam. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's I do think, his dad passing is sad and he honoured his dad, and I get that, and it's lovely. But I don't know. There's always going to be a question mark over Khabib because, you know, he only had 4 good fights really in the UFC, and he never went up in weight. I just don't think he wanted to fight. I just don't think he wanted to fight them guys. I really don't. I don't think he wanted to fight them guys.
The fight we missed out on for me was him versus Charles. And again, the first thing people are going to say is, but Islam beat Charles. Islam beat Charles or got the better of Charles through striking. Khabib wouldn't have done that. Khabib Charles would have been such a different fight to Charles versus Islam. That was the fight I wanted to see. Khabib versus Charles at 55. If he had beaten Charles at 55, obviously we never got to see him versus Ferguson either, which is, you know, the biggest tragedy in that division, in my opinion.
Yeah. Do we guys have time to touch on something? Touch on another subject, or are we leaving it for tomorrow?
I've got something here. Have you seen the Dana White rant just now?
I was literally gonna say about AI rankings. He's gone on another fucking rant. Have you seen it?
Oh, what's he saying now?
Hang on. I'm gonna share it on Twitter with you.
Cool.
He says,
and then maybe you can get it up. Pause.
Yeah.
Pause.
Yeah.
I always do.
Yeah, I'll send it as well, just in case it's the.
I sent a different one. I quoted you on Twitter on it, man. Go and check it out.
Nice one. All right.
Yeah, I've sent it in our WhatsApp group.
Why is he ranking about rankings when he makes the rankings?
Because it's not him. Because this is what he's basically exposing himself and the UFC. What he's exposing here is that he does not do shit behind the scenes when it comes to rankings.
But so who's doing it? Because they put on the UFC website. So who's doing it?
I reckon it's Hunter.
So is he having to go at Hunter? Because Hunter will just step away, and then it means he has to do more work. He should really be careful how he speaks about Hunter. Then
I just love the way that he rants to the media, thinking that we don't like they don't know shit, like they've not been covering the sport for like 20, 30 years.
Yeah, exactly. All right, I'm gonna play it then, boys.
Yeah.
Let's get into this. Khamzat Chimaev is number 12. Okay, Max Holloway is number 10. The guy he knocked out is number 3.
All right, I'm gonna stop it there. I've said
he don't fight in that weight. He don't fight in that weight though. That's why.
No, so Khamzat for me shouldn't be ranked any higher than he is. Khamzat shouldn't even be ranked in the middleweight division because he's not beating the middleweight in the rankings. So that the first point was wrong. Holloway at 55 should be higher ranked than Gaethje. That doesn't make sense at all. He knocked out Gaethje in Gaethje's weight class, and he's ranked number 10, and Gaethje's ranked number 3. That doesn't make sense. So he's 1-1 so far. Let me head back to it.
Yeah. So I got to find some media guys that know the fight sport, that understand the sport of fighting, that are actually doing the rankings. So the rankings are definitely a problem. Moicano, I agree with you 100%. But don't worry, my friend. AI will be here soon, and this will all be fixed. We get all these bums that know nothing about fighting out of this shit and get AI in here, and we can fix all these rankings. I could go through this board for a fucking hour with you about the rankings, the MMA media. Let's get into
He's the president of the company. What is he chatting about?
Yeah,
the thing with Holloway mostly fights at featherweight, and at featherweight he's ranked 2. That's why his ranking's low at lightweight.
He beat Gaethje though, Jay, so he should automatically be higher.
But Gaethje fights at lightweight constantly. That's why he's higher in the rankings.
He still beat him though, bro.
But if my football team beats another football team tomorrow, that don't mean I'll go above them in the league.
No, but football's different, obviously. I hear that obviously makes sense, but in terms of fight,
don't fight in that ranking. If Gaethje fights constantly in that division and wins the majority of his fights, he can't then just go below a geezer who don't fight in that division that much just because of one fight. That wouldn't make sense.
I think he has to, Jay, because he lost to him, and the way he lost to him as well. It wasn't like a close fight or anything. He beat him up for 5 rounds and then sparked him out at the end. He has to be higher than him. And even if he's not higher than him, he's got to be close to him in the rankings than that.
That's the reason only getting the title. But Dana gave him the title shot in a different weight class. So why does it matter?
Yeah, but I think he was going to get a title shot anyway, though, because who else is there? Because Max had already beaten everyone else apart from Volk. So he's always going to get a title shot. It's just that just stamped it. That just made it more of a money fight now because people want to see Max fight even more now after that last one.
I've said rankings don't matter for years now. But
Dana's the reason why the rankings don't matter, because people like Khamzat get favorable treatment. Bo Nickel get favorable treatment.
But he's the president of the company. What? He's the president of the company, so I don't get why. Who's in charge of the rankings then? Because he's on about sports people. Do they get all different journalists together to make the rankings?
Well, but this is the thing, we don't know. He keeps on saying the media do it. The media do it. Who in the media do it?
About the pound for pound. He talk about like ESPN pound for pound. Because let's be honest, like when he's talking about slagging off journalists, it's because they don't have John Jones pound for pound number 1. That's why he's going on about. That's why bitching and moaning about. Oh, we gotta give John Jones pound for pound number 1. No. Dana, it's your fucking company, man. Stop bitching. Stop moaning. Yeah, you want to bitch about rankings? You stick John Jones pound for pound number 1 if that satisfy your shallow, fragile ego. I am fucking done with Dana. Dana, please fuck off and do boxing and fucking leave the UFC and take your shitty slap bollocks with you, because you're damaging this company. You are now the biggest thing wrong with the UFC. It's you. It's your ego. It's not who's the biggest fighter. It's all about Dana. Dana. Fuck off. Yeah, that's me done from UFC events. Dana, just please fuck off. please.
Shout out to you guys in the comments because they've actually just shared and told me who does the rankings. So I'm going to read out the list because I can't believe Dana's basically saying all these people who are doing the rankings are going to get sacked because he hasn't got the outcome that he wants, which is crazy. It shows how power hungry he is. So the ranking panel is comprised of media members from the following outlets: KHON Honolulu, MMA Oddsbreaker, CFMU 93.3, Burstback.se, Fight News, Fight Network, Gazeta Esportiva, Cherokee Scout, Burbank Leader, MMA Weekly, KIOZ 105.3, VladuSport.com, Wrestling Observer, Top Turtle Podcast, My MMA News, MMA Fight Radio, Boxeo Mondial, Kimura.se, MMA Soldier, MMA NYTT, Blood and Sweat, and Inside Fighting Radio.
Yeah, so he wants to get rid. Look, he wants to get rid of it. He wants to get rid of all the journalists and media that's covering UFC
because he doesn't agree with
because he doesn't agree with it.
Set up. Because let's be honest,
I understand
about how like some of the fights we go, oh, why is this person not higher and why is this and that? The only reason why he's upset about this is because John Jones ain't sat at the top. That's why he's upset. He's not upset about anything else, about the criticisms that fans have had about the rankings, the issues with the rankings, why sometimes it doesn't make sense. That's not the issue. The issue is his fragile little ego is still upset that John Jones ain't the pound-for-pound #1 fighter anymore, which he ain't. He may be the GOAT, but he ain't the pound-for-pound #1 active fighter at the moment. And let's be honest, the AI can still be manipulated.
Yeah.
And it's going to be manipulated to have John Jones always at the top because he's been manufactured to be MMA's Michael Jordan, the franchise player. Yeah. When you think about MMA, when you think about the UFC, they want you to have the first name that pops into your head is John Jones. Or sorry, the first name that pops into most people's head now in this generation is Conor McGregor because he is the franchise player, the biggest star this company has had and will ever see again. He is your franchise player, not John Jones.
I agree. John Jones is probably top 5 in terms of notoriety around MMA, but he's definitely not #1.
No, if we're being real here, John Jones shouldn't be in the top 10. He's had one fight in 5 years.
John Jones should be banned, but that's my thing.
He shouldn't be. Is it one fight he's had in 5 years, John Jones?
Two. Reyes and Reyes was 2020.
Reyes. So it's 4 years. So he's had one, 2 fights in 4 years.
Yeah. You can't be bound for #1. You can't.
He shouldn't be. He shouldn't be in the top 10.
Especially when you weren't injured. Even if you were injured, you can't hold on to your spot. Like you just can't. It's impossible.
See, with rankings, I do feel like there's a lot of things that have to go into it. I don't think it's just as simple as one guy beats one guy and they go above them. I think you have to put a lot of things into it. So if one person's brand new to the division and they beat a guy who's ranked 3, they automatically shouldn't go 3rd ranked because they just beat that person. If that makes sense. You don't think
so?
I always think that they should be slightly just behind them still.
Yeah.
Why? Because they should be above them, surely.
Because a win, because they're not the 3rd best fighter in that division. A win, because it could come in a different kind of way.
But if they beat in the 3rd best,
but you can always have an opponent that is just an opponent for some reason you can't beat, but you destroy everyone else.
Yeah, no, that's true. But
then it doesn't mean they're better than you.
No, you're right. So, like, say for example, Volk were to lose to Diego Lopez, for example. Diego Lopez would hop over Volk, and then let's say Max beats Diego Lopez. Max would hop over Diego Lopez. Yeah, he's lost to Volk 3 times on paper, but currently now he's ahead of him because the person who beat Volk, you beat. So he should be ahead of them.
Yeah, I cannot wait for these AI rankings to come out. Cannot wait.
I hope we never see AI rankings. I really
no. You're going to get it once they get in charge.
Well, AI only works if you put all the data into it and let it do its job. So it all depends what the data is they put into it. Is it just going to be as simple as if number 6 beats number 1, 6 and 1 swap? Because the problem is, say the 6th ranked fighter beats the number 1 ranked fighter, right? That if you swap them just like that, the number 1 fighter shouldn't go all the way down to number 6 because 5, 4, and 3 haven't beat him yet.
No, I agree. No, so I don't think you swap them. I just think so. Say for example, I use Max's again as an example. Max is number 2 in the featherweight division now because Volk's number 1. Let's say, I don't know, number 8 beats Max. Max doesn't drop to number 8. Max just drops to number 3, and that person jumps up to number 2. So the loser only drops 1 place, but everyone else drops the place down to accommodate that person jumping the place up.
But then the person that drops down for no reason will be like, "Why have I dropped down when I've beaten all these fighters? I just haven't had my fight yet."
They haven't fought, and the rankings have moved in accordance to the others. In the same way, Jay, if a team in the Premier League doesn't play on plays on the Sunday, the team on the Saturday could jump over them until they play, and then when they play, they can jump.
Yeah,
back
I hear that. Yeah, I hear that.
There's too much incentive for it never to happen.
I just think get rid of rankings. I don't know why we got them. Don't know why we got rankings.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the idea of the rankings, but if the rankings aren't going to be implemented properly, then it shouldn't be done. Like, for example, Cheeto Vera getting the Sean O'Malley fight, when that wasn't justified at all. And then they moved Cheeto Vera's ranking up without him having fought anyone just to justify it a bit more. But that to me looked dodgy.
But if they do this just proves my point that they're going to be shifting away from getting the biggest fights for the biggest pay-per-view names because it's obvious that they're shifting away from that because they get the big contract from ESPN at the start of the year, which puts less pressure on them to build pay-per-view stars. And I think doing rankings like this just strengthens that.
See, in boxing, they do rankings, but they have 4 different promotions in one sport.
The rankings in boxing aren't worth the paper they're written on.
Yeah,
because no one really fights in their rankings, you know. Like, how many times has Thingy been beat lately? He'll just get another title fight because it's more about money rankings. Do it that way. Do money rankings. Do it like that. But I don't
understand.
If you do that though, you'll have people like Masvidal and Diaz getting title shots over people like Rakhmonov and Bilal, for example.
Well, I've always said title shots should go to the person that's most deserving. So, you know, if someone's ranked, I don't know, let's say someone's ranked 7th in the world, right? But they've been on a killer fighting streak, and they've won, 6 in a row for over the last 2 years. They're ranked 6th. For me, there's no reason why they shouldn't get the next title shot.
But that's what's happening. Everyone's in uproar about it.
But if they're having putting on exciting fights, they're bringing the money in, people are excited to watch their fights, then I've got no problem with them getting the next title shot. And if you've got someone who just lays on somebody every fight for 3 rounds and bores you, no one watches it, no one tunes in, no one cares, then they shouldn't get a title shot. For like sport, any kind of sport, even combat sport, should be still included in entertainment because you need to get. Otherwise, you wouldn't have it on telly. Anything on TV is entertainment. It's got to sell. It's got to draw people in. I think you reward people like that. You go, look, if you've won 6 fights, if you've won 3 fights in a row and your ranking's a little bit lower, but you're exciting, you're drawing people in, people are talking about you, you'll go get the bigger fights quicker. Give these fighters incentives to actually pick up their game.
Shall I go through more of the stuff Dana said? Because Dana was on one. Someone gave him a line to sniff before this interview because he dropped some great stuff. So Dana White guaranteed basically Ankalaev for a title fight if he shows a good performance. So he gets a title shot if he performs well.
Stuff like that. For me, it's merit. You get it on merit. I hear what you're saying, that it's an entertainment business, but it's not, though, Jay. It's a sport. So how many times have we seen in football the most entertaining teams don't always win the trophies? It's usually the team that's the best wins the trophies. This is a sport. This ain't WWE. So him saying things like, if he phrased that perfectly, he didn't say if Ankalaev wins. He said if Ankalaev puts on a good performance. That for me is putting Ankalaev in the mindset of, I've got to go in there and take risks, which means I could get knocked out because I've got to satisfy your ego effectively. When it should just be, if he wins, he gets a title shot. If Alex Perez is as good as we all think he is, then he'll make the fight exciting with Ankalaev. If you're not good enough to make the fight exciting, then that's on you. Poirier made the fight exciting with Islam. Everyone thought Islam would just go out there and wrestle him and easily beat him. Poirier said, "No, I'm gonna take it to him and we'll see where we go." And it was an exciting fight. If the opponent is not good enough to make the fight exciting, then it's not the winner's fault.
And the reason I say that, I don't believe in this, by the way.
I know you don't. I know you don't, Jay. I know.
I'm saying it because Dana White recently said that UFC is not getting, is too boring at the moment, and he wants some more exciting fights, and he wants fighters to be more entertaining. Yeah. So if he wants to do a ranking, that's why I'm saying, if he wants to do a ranking system with AI like that, where the more excited you are, no matter your rank, you get these fights. You know, like Paddy Pimblett. If Paddy Pimblett wins, if say Paddy Pimblett fought Moicano and beats Moicano, and then he fights someone else and beats him, because he brings in money and attention, he'll get the next title shot. Look at Brock Lesnar back in the day. You know, he lost his opening fight, then beat a fighter that's quite lower down the rankings, although he's got a name in Heath Herring. Then he bought, and then because what happened is Dana looked at the numbers. Randy Couture was his champion and tried to take his UFC to court because he wanted to fight Fedor in an individual event. Yeah. And he took 12 months off. But what he saw is that Randy Couture don't bring in the numbers. Brock Lesnar was bringing in these numbers, just gave Brock Lesnar a title shot above people that actually deserved it more than Brock at the time. Yeah. Because to Dana, it is the entertainment business. It's not just the fight business. It is about interaction. It is about numbers. So I don't like it. I think people should fight in accordance to what they deserve. Yeah, you know.
Oh yeah, but I think Dana wants.
I think Dana wants a more entertaining sport now. Interactive sport. Look at all the YouTubers he invites everywhere now.
Oh God.
They all get media coverage. No real MMA media personalities are there as the more social media personalities now.
Yeah. Oscar Willis, Nina says, "Oh, thanks, Dana, for letting me into these events."
They get all the coverage, all of them, and they're stars now because of it. That's where Dana wants this to go. So I don't want it like I'm saying. I want it like proper.
Saying what it's going to become.
But exactly.
It's too late. The horse is bolting, and plus he said, because I know we don't want this to go forever, but he said that Dana also said that it's a myth that fighters get paid more when they transition from MMA to boxing. Quote, "That's a bullshit policy that people believe, but it's not the truth. Boxing don't work. It's the most effed up business, and all these sound bites are so full of shit. It makes everyone effing believe that this shit isn't true when it's not. If that's the case, then why are you planning to be a boxing promoter then?"
If that's the case, why did Ngannou leave the UFC and make more than in one fight than he made in his whole career? Why did your biggest star
go is what he said
to make more money than he's made in all of his fights combined with the UFC?
This is what he said about
Diaz, all these people, all his top stars have gone to boxing to make more money. Does that not ring a bell with Masvidal, one of his biggest stars of all time? Diaz, one of his biggest stars. Conor, his biggest star.
About Francis. Dana White and Francis Ngannou making more money in boxing than he would staying in the UFC. That's not necessarily true. That's the bullshit publicly people believe, but it's not the truth. Total bullshit. That's a whole myth that makes everyone go, effing go boxing. It's all effing bullshit. Then why is Sugar Sean O'Malley constantly calling out boxers to go fight?
Exactly.
Ngannou made 10 million fighting Tyson Fury, made 10 million. And he said he made more money in that.
Then he also said this: boxing doesn't work. What makes it work? You need Saudi fucking trillionaires making the effing fights. And even The Saudi trillionaires are tired of the BS. It's all a myth. Every effing guy who tries to do the boxing thing, they end up losing a shit ton of effing money. The model doesn't work. Then why are you getting into it? If you're slagging everyone off from losing a shit ton of money, then why are you getting into it? Why did you take the Callum Walsh fight? I think you took it off of TNT The Zone to take it to UFC Fight Pass, where you only gave a 5K performance bonus. If boxing's so broken, so tapped on, why the fuck are you going into it? Because Turk's giving you loads of money.
Or he feels
money. What the fuck, Dana? And someone needs to stick it on them properly, not these old crusty journalists that are.
They can't though. They can't stick it on him properly. Dana talks about freedom of speech and he won't stop people saying this and that, but he does, because he'll just blacklist them. Luke Thomas blacklisted. Ariel Helwani blacklisted. It's not freedom of speech.
It's dictatorship.
That's why I get these journalists, this is their livelihood. This is what puts food on the table. They've got family to provide for and all that. They're not gonna.
These fighters are too scared to, like, even the biggest stars. But when it came to fighter pay, I didn't hear Conor McGregor at his peak slamming fighter pay.
Yeah. Conor went over and got the Floyd fight, which Dana ended up getting a piece of, didn't he?
Yeah, of course they got a piece. Yeah, and then Dana's gone running to Saudi to get Zuffa Boxing finally up and running. Like, he thinks he can implement his UFC model, but yeah, effing ridiculous. I hope he fails, crash and burns.
It's not going to work, the UFC model. Boxers just won't join. They'll say, why am I going to get a cap on my income? Yeah, I don't know. But look, Luke, tell the people when we're going to get more content from you, bro, what to expect for the rest of the week.
So Thursday, and so we'll probably go live Thursday, depending on you guys' availability for the preview for UFC 307. So we'll break down the beautiful main card, that is, and then we'll obviously touch on Wonder Boy and Buckley as well. So that's what's coming this week. And obviously we've got the watch along on a Saturday on your channel.
We have indeed. Might do a few more videos between now and then. We'll see. Jay, what about yourself, bro? What you got coming up?
So I've got the watch along tomorrow. I've got some interesting Liverpool shows coming up as well, where so I'm going to be talking about some certain things that might piss people off, but
it's the way we like it. It's the way we like it.
Goes back to any other way.
Never change, boys. Never change. But people, that is us for today. If you haven't already, smash the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. But more importantly than that, go to the link in the description, find Jamie's channel, find Luke's channel, and go and give them a subscribe and like their videos too. It's been a pleasure as always, people. We'll be back before the watch along here, but before that, we'll also be on Luke's channel for the preview for 307 Pereira versus Roundtree Jr. So make sure you join us there, and make sure, a lot of you here are football fans, predominantly Liverpool fans. You know what to do. Go over to Jamie's channel and watch his shows as well. People, it's been an absolute pleasure. Till we see you next time. Thank you very much for watching. Take it easy, people.